Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Sunday, June 30th, 2024. So, on this Canada Day Eve...
Happy Canada Day Eve.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. Did you do the crossword?
I did.
And was it something you had to be sorry for, like Canadians are often described as being?
No.
Oh, good. Good. Glad to hear it. What do you think about this crossword?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the theme was very unique and funny. I thought the answers. I mean, they were very punny, but very clever.
Right.
So I did enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it at about my regular time, 1 hour and 2 minutes. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Just nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
Well, good. In my case, it was a good way to spend a Saturday evening and Sunday morning. And my view of this crossword is colored somewhat by the fact that I got naticked in multiple places.
Oh, well, I did too, but I worked them out.
Well, fundamentally, there was one natick. Actually, I guess it's pronounced natick, isn't it? There's one natick that I simply could not overcome. That was 74 cross. Day before Domingo was Sabado.
Sabado. Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what, and obviously you do, know what language that's in.
Yeah.
Is that Spanish?
Yep.
Man.
Saturday.
Because you see 76 down, the last letter of, say that again, Sabado?
Sabato.
Sabato. The last letter of Sabato ran into 76 down, harmonious in a way. And I thought, in key. If I'm in key, I'm harmonious, as opposed to being on key, which is also harmonious.
That is correct.
But there were multiple other places where I was unsure. But that was my mistake. After everything, I figured everything else out. And I'm just like, oh, it's not in key, it's on key.
Right.
But I had 10 across. I should have gotten Turkic tongue was Tatar.
Right.
And I think we've seen that before.
Yes.
But there were two letters in Tatar, the second T and the R. The second T ran into black and blank. Sorry, it's hard to say. Beer cocktails. Black and tans.
Right.
Had you ever heard of that?
It seems like I have, yes. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know it right off the top of my head. But I thought, when I got the A and S, I thought, I think it's black and tans.
Yeah, see, I'd never heard of that before. And I think the fact that tans is a color, I was sort of thinking maybe that's right. And at one point I had Tatar because and again, that R of Tatar ran into 14 down, meat field puff, risole. And I'm like, come on. It's like the author of this crossword, Ginny 2, read my mind and said, all right, what does he not know? Let's stuff it into one clue here and see if he can squirm out of here.
Well, actually, that is where I ended up.
Really?
Because I had Pasoli.
Oh, so you didn't know that either?
I didn't know that either.
I'm shocked.
And then I looked back up, I didn't get the music, and I looked up and I saw that was ta-tap. I'm like, well, I don't think that's correct. I think it must be Tatar. And so when I put the R in, then I got the music. Yeah.
That's good.
Because I didn't know that either, the 10 across, Turkic tongue. And I was thinking it was maybe Farsi. That's what I put in because I know that's a Middle Eastern language.
Right.
And then I, eventually let go of one letter at a time from Farsi as I finally figured out what the downs were. And,
well, as long as you retained the first A, because that was 11 down, horde or a mess.
Well, that worked. So I thought, it must be, but it wasn't. But then I ended up with Tatap, and that I knew was wrong.
Right.
So it's got to be Tatar.
Yes, it was...
Because I've heard that before.
I have too, and I put it in there, and I thought, well, I've got everything else right. Actually, a funny thing happened. 18 across, experience was feel. multiple times that F kept getting changed by itself to a C.
Oh.
I'm convinced I had nothing to do with it.
Oh, really?
And so I'd like go through and I'd be looking at tatar and I'd be looking at on key and I'm like, what is wrong? And then I look back and it's just like, what's BCFs? One down being two halves of a platonic whole.
Mm-hmm.
BFFs.
That's right. That's friends forever.
Right. And another place where I had a problem, 4 down, like the H in hat to a linguist. And the answer was glottal.
Yes.
But that ran into one of the themed answers, captain and 9 crew members, 10 AC, but I had 10 IC, even though I realized that C was misspelled.
Right.
We'll have to dig into the theme here a little bit more to explain it, but the point is that I had an I in there as glottal, because it's just like, well, glottal with an I or an A, they sound just about the same.
Well, I had the O, and it was in the third square there. I thought, it's like short, something short.
Oh, yes.
But it wasn't. No, it turned out to be glottal.
Right, because you've got 2 squares to fill after short, and almost in all cases it's always short and then 1 letter, not 2. It wouldn't make sense to say short O-A or something.
It's always a vowel, not a consonant like H is.
Yes.
So
another place I had problem with was 105 down, Hindu god of death, Yama.
Yama, yeah.
I thought it was, I was thinking about Rama. I'm not sure where Rama comes into.
Well, that's the name of a god, too. And I thought of that because that's usually the god you find in crosswords.
Right.
But I thought, well, I don't think that's the god of death. I think Rama is like sort of the main god, not the god of death. But I do not know my Hindu gods that
right.
well. So
the
Yama. Mm-hmm. There was also another one that I didn't know, but I eventually got it, 50 across. Bhagavad blank.
Gita.
Hindu scripture.
Bhagavad Gita.
Gita.
Yes. I actually knew one for once.
Oh, you knew that? Mm-hmm. I did not.
120 across, I thought was a tremendously amusing clue. I mean, there were lots of amusing clues here, but rulers used to make many crosswords, ? Czars.
Right.
It's like, oh, nice one.
Yeah, that was funny.
Let's see, what else? Well, we haven't talked at all about the theme, and the theme really is pretty dominant here, so why don't you go ahead and discuss that?
Well, I'll do my best. The themed clues were written in italics, and the name of the puzzle was misstated. And the answer to the themed clues was a phrase, but if you said it fast enough, it sounded like the name of a state in the U.S. So, like 22 across was the first one. Getaway driver's plan, obviously. And that was Florida. If you say it fast, it's Florida.
Right.
Florida. So, but Florida. And then 28 across was She Sure Runs Fast. And that was Miss is Zippy, or if you say it fast, Mississippi.
Yep.
So anyway, that was the theme. And some of them were funny. The one you mentioned before. I mean, they all were kind of funny, I thought. 34 across, captain and 9 crew members. 10 a C, or Tennessee.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I liked 45 across, jaded miner's remark, or again?
Yeah, that one took me a while. But one I got very quickly was 60 across. Actress Kendrick when appearing in smaller films, and that was Indiana. So
now, did you get that? You must have gotten the theme already before. Or did you just figure that out from whole class?
I think that's where I did figure it out.
Really?
Because I had the N, the first N, that would be India, and I thought, it starts with Anna because it says actress Kendrick. But I thought Anna something, and then I figured out, it's Indiana, and then Indiana. Then I'm like, okay, now I know what we're doing here. So
I needed a little bit more in-your-face clue. 86 across. Considered buying that garden tool. Eyed a hoe. That one I really liked.
Or 70 across. PC sensitive in a way. Dell aware.
Yes, that was good.
No, but the one I struggled with, 80 across. You realize this is a silent meditation, right? And it was Wyoming.
Yes,
Wyoming.
that was hilarious. And of course, our own home state here. Parents' encouragement to a budding chef. 113 across. Whisk on, son. Whisk on, son.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
Well, and the one two above it, I guess it is, 96 across. Wait, can we not play this in F sharp instead? And it was, Y-E? Y-E?
Yes.
You know, why not F? You know,
Yep.
Y-E or Hawaii? No. And I think the last one, we might as well tell it too, 102 across. Get a little nearer. And the answer was virgin, yeah.
No,
it should be more like get a little nearer. And it was virgin, yeah. Virginia. So that one was a little tricky.
Yeah, I guess I don't think about getting nearer as virgin. But I guess, it works. It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
But it did feel like more of a stretch.
Yeah.
Certainly not in the same class as Idaho or Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yes.
It was Ginny, too, who was responsible for all these really bad puns.
But they were great.
Yes, they were.
So very enjoyable for me and fairly easy solve.
Yes,
For
you, we have to again throw that in. I keep thinking there's this mentalist, Joseph Dunninger. I don't know if you ever heard the name.
No.
It's probably going to be in Ginny 2's next crossword. And he was a mentalist who could supposedly read people's minds. And he was an entertainer at the beginning of the 20th century. And I was thinking that Ginny 2 was like a descendant of Joseph Dunninger because she was able to read my mind, figure out answers that I would never be able to figure out and put them in one place in the grid. So I salute her on her mentalist abilities.
One that really stumped me for a long time was 26 across. Staple of 80s pop. And the answer was synth.
Yes.
I guess short for synthesizer, right?
Yes. I had, and that certainly sounds right. I had the Y and the N. And for some reason, I decided it was Cindy, like Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't get me very far, but I held on to it for a bit.
I don't think she spelled her name with a Y.
No, that's just it. But 23 down, actor Matthew of The Americans, it was RHYS.
Right.
And I briefly convinced myself that it was RYYS. Well, there's Wig, WIIG.
That's true.
Why can't there be RYYS? And the answer is because Riss's parents felt like they should have that he should have a better last name.
Right. And then there was another interesting name, 7 down, Paul Blank, Hungarian mathematician with over 1,500 published papers.
Right.
Whoa, I cannot believe that.
Wonder how many rejections he got.
Well, probably not very many, but anyway, his last name was ERDOS.
Yes. That's a Hungarian word meaning must publish.
I guess. I didn't even, come close to publishing that many papers when I was a teacher.
That's probably on the family crest.
No.
Publish or die.
Yeah.
Actually, that's on every academic's
You'd have to
crest.
publish a paper every day to get that many papers.
Well, no, hang on. Let's see. If he published, let's say he had a 40-year career, and okay, so how many papers did he do?
1,500.
Okay, so let's say he had
over 1,500.
Let's say he had just to make the math work, let's say he worked for 50 years. That would be 30 papers a year.
Uh-huh.
So it's just like 2 a month.
Yeah.
I bet he didn't.
More than 2 a month.
I bet he didn't teach. He was just he was too busy doing research. Now we're going to hear from the ERDOS Foundation.
Same.
We'd like to apologize for besmirching his reputation. We're sure he taught.
My goodness. Well,
or
it
maybe-
doesn't say he was a professor. It just says he was a mathematician. So
Well, maybe he just assigned homework. And it was so hard that he just published it with himself as second author.
perhaps.
He could have cranked out 50 papers a day that way, just grading them. That was his secret. Another, speaking of unusual names, 72 down, Blank and the Bee, 2006 film, Aquila.
Mm-hmm.
How was I supposed to know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that one either.
But the crosses were pretty decent.
Yeah, that's how I got it.
Except for the Virgin, I was a little bit unsure of that. But it sounded right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this has been a fabulous crossword by Ginny 2.
Thank you, Ginny.
Thank you, Ginny. And that is it for today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Thanks for helping make this one of the most popular podcasts about the New York Times crossword to come out of Northeast Wisconsin.
Yep.
Or as we like to say it, Wisconsin. And we will be back again with our cutting-edge analysis of tomorrow's crossword tomorrow.
Bye-bye.